What's going on, everybody? Brian Parker with Head to Head. We will be starting the show 5 minutes after the top of the hour, and we will definitely be talking about the continued fallout from uh, the big bill that the House and Senate recently passed, implications, also the timing of when a lot of the cuts are going to happen versus the time when a lot of the tax cuts are going to happen. We also hear Trump keep continuously talking about no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and things like that. But it's the other part. It's only temporary, and you have to make a certain amount of money, and you give up a standard deduction that may actually be better for you if you were not to do that. So there's a lot of things, and again, we look at how a lot of times the administration plays a little sleight of hand with voters out there, where they basically give you breadcrumbs while they're actually taking away the actual biggest pieces of the bread on the table, while you're on the floor looking for breadcrumbs. Another story that really interests me. I grew up as a basketball fan, NBA in particular, and Bleacher Report came out with its annual updated top 100 list of NBA players. And I know we talk a lot of politics, but damn that, we definitely gonna cover this. Um, Kobe Bryant is number 11. Who the hell is 1 through 10 that would keep Kobe from being in the top 10 of 100 greatest players of all time? So we'll look at that list, and you can chime in and tell me if you agree. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on that. But there's just no way in the world. Hey, we also gonna sit there. Let's say I got about a minute and a half. We also gonna sit there and talk about this fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein case. The right and left both are losing their mind. Trump is now calling certain Republicans stupid for taking the bait. He's telling them that it's all a hoax, and comparing the Jeffrey Epstein case to other things that were more personal to Donald Trump. And it begs to ask the question, why is he internalizing the Jeffrey Epstein case as if it's something indicative about what he's done? It's a little strange how he's taking it that way. I wonder why. And what does it say that there were so many people in his administration, including himself, that made the Jeffrey Epstein case the boogeyman for all of his followers and supporters? And now that they want you to make good on what you promised, now all of a sudden, now that you're in power and you don't need them anymore, now you're more willing to say, you know what? There's nothing here. Move on. And he's mad because in the past, he's been able to just get them to just drop it and do it, and they are not obeying. And it is causing a rift, even to the fact that you got folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Thomas Massey, teaming up with Democrats to push forward a bill that basically says, number one, AG Pam Bondi preserve all the documents, and number two, we want the ability to get to the bottom of what's going on in this case. So we'll cover all of that coming up on the other side of this. Hope to see y'all there, and see you in 5 minutes. Let's roll it.
And it's a ticket talking mother for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking mother for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking mother for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking mother for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
This a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and
This a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. And we're back for another week of talk. Hope everybody out there is doing good. Thank you for tuning in. We this is gonna sound different this time, so I'm gonna make sure I get it right. We are streaming live and direct on Amazon, Roku, Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. That's right. Help us on our journey for 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube feed by simply going over to YouTube, pulling up Empower TV, the letter N, the word Power TV, Parker Media Group. And please like, share, and most importantly, please subscribe. We really want to grow our YouTube presence as it does help with the algorithm out there. Hey, you're here and we really appreciate that, but we want to try to bring in other people too. Hey, Tawny, how you doing? Tuning in, looks like on Instagram, I see. We do appreciate that. Anybody can go to YouTube, go to Empower TV, and pull up Parker Media Group and like, share, and subscribe. Also appreciate that as well as that helps with our footprint on hey hi as it helps with our footprint the on the YouTube because their algorithms are kind of funny, but it helps us be able to reach other people that are not subscribed, be able to see the program as well. And after the show, we upload each edition of the show onto Spotify. And, you know, it's not just the audio version, it is the full video version show. So I'm not saying when you're driving, you need to watch me while you're driving, keep your eyes on the road, but you can hear it and you can see it at the same time. So maybe you can't see it because you're driving, but maybe you got passengers in the car and they kind of want to be able to see things too. So there is that option on Spotify where you can catch this entire show. So whether you're joining us live, whether you're joining us on the replay, we definitely do appreciate it. Now, you'll notice that I normally, when I say where we are streaming from, I include LinkedIn. And I just wanted to say, I've for now pulled LinkedIn off of our stream only because my LinkedIn profile includes or actually lists first my day job. Y'all see where I'm going with this, don't you? Well, somebody from my day job said, "Hey, we need to probably figure out a better way to do this because we don't necessarily want your political show to seem as if it is necessarily the opinion of the company." And I thought about that, and they were absolutely right. Because when I go live, I actually do not see how the feed shows up on LinkedIn. And if I was somebody on the outside looking in, it would actually look like it was a representative of my company that I work for, looking like somebody from the company was representing the company and giving their opinions on a feed. So I did make sure I told them, I said, hey, listen, I'll pull it for now till I figure out how to separate the two if profiles if I decide to open up a business account on LinkedIn and do it that way. But you know what? We have so much feedback on all of the other platforms and streams and everything out there that we can kind of do without it. Um, as long as you guys continue to do what you've been doing, and we'll keep that going. With that said, season 6 of Head to Head with Brian Parker will start in August. What that means, though, is we're going to take a break after this show for at least 3 weeks on purpose. The last 2 weeks of July, the first week of August, because normally we're on vacation anyway for the first week of August, but I'm actually going to be on a business trip anyway. So that just works perfectly. So what's going to happen is the following week, on August the 11th, um, Head to Head Sports, Brian Parker, Randall Hargrove, new night, excuse me, Monday night, 7 p.m. We're going to break down the NFL. We're going to start with 2 conferences per week till we get to all 32 teams before the start of the regular season. The regular season will start on that Thursday. After that, September, whatever it is right now, I can't remember. But we will be ready to go after the 11th. So that'll be the 11th, and I'm guessing 12, 13, 14th. the show will actually be back. So you will see us again on August the 14th, 7 p.m. But you always got previous episodes to go back in, watch the replay if you hadn't seen it, and things like that. If there are news and notes that are popping up, you may see a couple of live videos from me. All another important reason why to either subscribe to the YouTube feed or actually go to Parker Media Group on Facebook as well and follow that page, as you may see some updates pop up if there is some pressing news that I want to get out there without starting the show up. Okay. So the official show won't start back till the 14th, but you may see some live videos between now and then, as news dictates. All right. So that's all what's going on with that. But kind of just want y'all to know, hey, he normally says LinkedIn. He didn't say LinkedIn this time. Yeah, I did. So that's why. Any Lori looked a little befuddled. Any comments on that? Can't hear you at all, and you're not muted. Don't know why that is. You gotta get your audio right. Sorry. While Lori is working on her audio, mm, try it now. I still I know I can't hear you because I don't hear any background noise at all. But anyway, um, now let's get to
Can you hear me
the.
now?
I can. What'd you do?
I had to
Now you went
change
away.
the headset. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, say something
Hello?
else again. Okay. Yeah, because
Hello?
at first, yeah, I can hear you. You can't hear me?
So, yeah, I can hear you. What happened was my other headset, I hadn't charged it, so it had a low battery. So while you were talking, I had to change my headset.
Oh, it's funny though. It's like your lips are moving faster than the sound is coming out. So is it a wireless headset?
No, it's a corded one.
Okay, now you're in sync again because when you talk, then the sound's coming out. Okay, it was just interesting. Well,
Nope.
things, things that happen on the studio side, but we got you back. Did you have anything about the LinkedIn comment?
Nope, seems clear to me. Understand.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we want to let anybody out there know, hey, we are still making sure that if you want to place an ad on our page, you have a business that you want to advertise, you have an event that you want to let people know about, anything along that sphere, please reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com. We can do a live read, we can do cut commercials, things like that. So please reach out. We know commercials can be expensive when you want to advertise on billboards. I would love to sit there and have my realty company on billboards. But Lori, I was thinking about this. Them billboards, them digital billboards, I don't know if you've seen them on the highways and stuff now. They change kind of quick. So I don't know. I would love to be able to have somebody from a marketing firm tell me how effective those changing billboards are. And if I'm driving, how distracting is it? Am I supposed to read what's on that damn billboard while I'm driving 65, 75 miles an hour? And
No,
how is that any better than somebody that's looking at their phone in the car?
well, if there was a passenger there, they can actually read it and get that information, or you can have it as a QR code. But I think it's as a marketing person, they are having it doing it having that billboard either surround the neighborhood or be traveling around, you do get a sense of number of eyes for people that are walking, things of that sort.
Okay, when I'm driving on Highway 74, there's some digital billboards that I always see. Unless nobody ain't walking on 74. So I get what you're
No.
saying. Nobody's walking on 74. So the only people that would really have time to read what these billboards say are passengers.
Yes.
Um, see them in downtown Charlotte. I'm thinking about there's one right there at the corner of Charlottetown and Third Street, I believe. right by the Circle K and Bojangles for my Charlotte listeners. And there's a digital one there. Again, yes, there's a sidewalk, so that one probably does uh, is a good one for either pedestrians or passengers. Absolutely. I'm just worried that drivers are sitting there getting um, distracted by a flashing billboard. Because flashing billboards ain't the same as like a regular standing billboard. If I pass that same billboard that doesn't change 6 times in a week, by the time the whole week is over, by me sitting there constantly looking at it, I'm gonna probably either have read the whole thing in passing or gotten pretty much the gist of what it's saying. Now I understand because I used to, work for a hotel company where we would rent out billboards a month, and it could get anywhere between $1,200, $1,800 a month, depending on size of the billboard, where it's located, etc. And I understand that there's a great cost. You ain't having to buy the vinyl that has to, and then pay somebody to go up on the ladder and wrap it for you, and all those kind of things and stuff like that. That goes into the production cost, which is why they cost so much. And I have no idea what the digital ones cost for the amount of times that it flashes. Um, it's an interesting concept, but I would love to be able to talk to somebody about that. Because yes, would I love to advertise in Power or Jermaine Parker Realty or something like that on some of those billboards? Absolutely. Um, if there was empirical evidence that there was a good ROI on it, not just to see my mug up on the screen like that big. I would love to see that, and everybody else be like, "I saw you on a billboard, boy. I surely is proud of you." Yeah, that'd be
Well,
kind of
yes, that's why, yes. But I even think the Jermaine Parker Realty sign that is at our home, um, we actually did get a couple of people who thought it was that we were selling our home,
hmm.
even though it clearly states, but you know,
Oh, did somebody ask you where we selling the house?
yes.
And you said,
No, this is advertisement.
and they said,
Went back in their car and drove away.
"Oh, so somebody was driving by thinking that the house was for sale, saw you outside, and probably was wanting to know, hey, how much y'all selling this house for?"
Well, they were actually parked up the street. I guess they were, loading up their car and they're like, "Hey, how much did you get for your house?"
Oh, you know what you should have said? 350. Next time they ask you to say about 350.
Well, yes, and actually I had received an email about some of the homes that are up for sale within our neighborhood or in surrounding areas, and there's one in particular that was like $350,000, and I was just like, way smaller than ours.
Hey, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. That drives value. So hey, always root for the underdog because then they help push your value up too. So you want your property values to go up, root for the properties around you to start overperforming and overselling because then it increases the value in your area. And why does it? Because when people are determining the value of your house, they're going to do what we call shopping the comps in your area, which is shopping other properties that are similar in size, scale, and everything else, and then base your value off of what the market is doing. So you notice I didn't say anything about how what you feel like it's worth, because it doesn't come down to that. It comes down to a lot of times what the market is dictating. So if the market dictates that your house is worth a certain amount, that's what it is, and that's our starting point, at least a lot of times as realtors. So just a little side note about that. But yeah, so I was looking at the whole thing about the advertising, and that's what was making me think about it. But going back to the whole thing, if you would like to advertise your business, your fairs, and things like that, reach out to us so we can partner with you. Also, if you are a content creator and you have a great idea for a show, a weekly show, a daily show, whatever it is that you want to put up, as long as it's not between 7 and 8:30 on Mondays and Thursdays, we have a spot for you potentially on our Empower network. We have all the streaming tools. We have everything for you to be able to use. We would want you to put it on at least our Roku channel for live programming. But then if you wanted to add your own YouTube feed, if you don't have one, you can definitely use Empower's YouTube feed. Uh, if you want to be able to put it on your own Facebook channel, you can stream all these different channels. We're streaming on 6 different platforms all at the same time. So people can see you from a lot of different places. Remember, Roku and Amazon Fire TV have over 150 million users each. But I want to try to get more live content, drive up more fan base. One of the things that we are wanting to be able to do in the next 5 to 8 years is open up and empower TV studio, brick and mortar, at least 3 different studios inside. One that will house the actual Empower studio, and then the other 2 studios would be rented out for content creators to be able to come into film their own stuff. So we'll have our own studio set, and that's permanent because we don't want to move our set. We don't want to change the set, whether it's desks, chairs, lighting, things like that. It needs to be a permanent set for Empower TV. However, the other 2 will have more things in it that can be moved around, whether it's teleprompters, whether it's lighting, whether it's desk versus high tops, whether it's taller chairs versus desk chairs, all those kind of things. Whether you need a producer, we'll have a producer booth in each one of them, so that the producer can work with the on air folks and all those kind of things. So that is my biggest uh vision for Empower, is to move from, and everything will still be online and everything, but instead of us doing this out of house and offices and stuff like that, everybody actually gathered around the same table in the same room, things like that. Folks have podcasts that they want to do, be able to come to the studio, film their stuff there. They'll be filming or recording ways of being able to do that. That'll give them a quick turnaround to then be able to clip it, post cuts on social media, whether it's TikTok or everything else, where they can bite size their shows or just run the whole thing. So a lot of good stuff that we want to do. So what I want to be able to do is folks that have a show with us will get the first dibs when the brick and mortar studio is open up, to move from doing it at home to actually having the opportunity to come over to the live studio and be able to film, record there as well. I love being able to bring in people. You'll still be able to uh, bring in people that cannot be there personally. You can bring them in, do remotes as well, but be able to film from the studio. I think it's a great and big thing, and want to be able to do that. But that's going to come down to you guys keeping this viewership up. We are very thankful for all of the viewers that we do have. So all of that there. As an example of the commercials that I was talking about, I'm gonna play 2 of them, and then we'll get on into the show. First one's gonna be, of course, Jermaine Parker Realty, followed up by Sawyer Kid Lawyer, and we'll be back on the other side of this right here. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. Introducing Sawyer Kid Lawyer, Teacher versus Nap Time, a great book that will help your little one with reading, writing, and spelling. Coming from the authors Shanine and Sheldon Muldrow. Please check this book out and support. Thank you so much. Oh, And we are back just like that. It's a catchy little tune. I like that. Anyway, I don't know if you noticed the voice on that on both of those, but I hear it's a very, very handsome guy. And I got
Super
him
handsome.
and I got him for cheap to do those. If you talk nice to me, I'll hook you up. Anyway. So anywho, so that's what we do. So again, if you're interested, please let us know. But like I said, if you're interested in hosting your own show, but maybe you just don't have enough content to carry a full channel like Empower, reach out to us again. There you go. theparkermedia@gmail.com. If you want to kind of see what the Roku channel looks like, maybe you don't have Roku, maybe you haven't, you can always add us as a channel and look at all of the content. But if you kind of want a glimpse of just what we have on our channel, you can always go to parkermediacompany.com and be able to view the channel as well. So take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Lori, we got a lot of things going on in the world of politics. Anything from the Senate just passing this rescission bill to the Epstein files to more still fallout from the big bill that passed. Uh, Things going on with border patrol. I mean, ICE. All those types of things. Before we get into Brian's law corner, Lori, you know what? Let's start with this. I'll bring the other thing up at the end because that burns me too. Grateful one day at a time. How are you doing? Thanks for joining the show. If you have any comments, please put them in the chat box. We read them on the air and answer them the best that we can. Let's get into this Epstein thing first, because this seems to be something that it makes me think about when you see a little fire burning and you ain't really paying that much attention to it, then you turn back around again and it's a bigger fire, and you turn back around again and it's a full 5 alarm fire. That's what this looks like to me. Everybody knows the whole issue behind Jeffrey Epstein, financier, party with a lot of high profile people, including our current president, but not just him. A lot of people out there, and it didn't matter if they were Republicans or Democrats, they hung with Epstein. Epstein had his own private island, had a mansion where apparently he and his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently in prison serving a 20-year sentence for now, for now, um, and they would groom very, very young girls, bring them to the island to give Jeffrey massages and other things. And she was part of this pedophile ring. And there was Jeffrey had his own. Epstein had his own jet. And when people travel on commercial or private flights, there's typically a list of people, like a manifest, people who's on the plane. So everybody's always talked about the Jeffrey Epstein list. Who was on his plane? Who was he hanging with that was flying to his island? And there have been so many names that have been revealed. Donald Trump's name has appeared on that list many times. Other people have appeared on that list many times as well. Again, Democrats, Republicans, didn't matter. Jeffrey didn't care what you was. He just people just like to hang out with him. Money talk. When you make a certain amount of money, people don't really care what your politics are, because you're in a whole separate class of people because of your financial wealth. So they all were in the same circles. And this was before it became clear who and what Epstein was. Epstein and this is all before he passed, of course. He even had been caught um, for prostitution, things like that. That was only a tip of the iceberg of what we were to discover later. He was given some deals to not get as harsh of punishments because, again, of his status. When he was in Florida, he had gotten sentenced to home confinement, but could leave home every day at a certain time. Slap on the wrist. He was still able to maintain and do mostly everything that he wanted to do during that time. The lawyer that brokered that sweetheart deal name was Alex Acosta. Alex Acosta ended up being Trump's labor secretary in Trump season one at 1600. And he was his labor secretary at least for a period of time before he resigned. At the time that Acosta did this, the attorney general at the time in Florida was this obscure figure named Pamela Joe Bondi. Hmm, sounds familiar, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, it's our current attorney general. Hmm. Oh, what a web we weave. Anyway, so all of that was going on at that time. Well, we know what happened. Epstein's affairs came out to the spotlight, Lori, and it was even bigger than we thought because there were victims that then came back and alleged, hey, this mother did all of these things to us when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. And then the investigation started. Epstein was jailed. Epstein was in Rikers, I believe, and somehow, some way, he found fit. He wasn't in Rikers. Where was he
He
at?
was at the Metropolitan Detention Center
Okay.
down over in Chinatown, where they have that
What's up, Dante, the
jail,
director? How you doing? Welcome
where they have
to Head to Head with Brian Parker. In Manhattan.
yes,
Okay, so
yes,
Epstein was being held in Manhattan when he
yes.
uh, somehow, under some light of suspicion, ended up dead. It was ruled a suicide. Um, And we went with that, even though there was theories out there that, hey, there had to be some cover up and all those kind of things. So that was the embers that were burning. Then Maxwell, his accomplice, ended up being charged as an accomplice, and eventually being sentenced to 20 years in prison for now. For now. And I keep stressing that because, again, what a web we weave, and this is weaving a web. Well, there was a podcast host named Dan Bongino who constantly during Trump's campaign, constantly on his podcast show, which was pretty big on the right, the Dan Bongino show, constantly kept bringing up Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein did this, they're covering it up. He was even asked, hey, how come these files aren't coming out? And he kept surmising because the people that don't want it to come out are on it and they're afraid what's going to happen when it comes out. So he fanned flames of this conspiracy that there's this list that lists all these powerful pedophiles on there, and we need to air it out so people can see who these people are. Well, Dan Bongino, Lori, I don't know if you know this, he happens to be the deputy director of the FBI. Hmm, interesting, right? Then you have somebody named I'm not gonna say what they call him now, but his name is Cash Patel. He also had a podcast. Now Dan Bongino's background too is he had podcaster, but he had also been a Secret Service agent in his past as well. Cash Patel, lawyer, a children's book writer, where Donald Trump is the hero in the books, had a podcast too, and he basically said the same thing during the campaign. Yeah, they got this Epstein thing going on, and they're covering it up. It's the deep state this, the deep state that, Lori. Deep state, deep state, deep state. And you hear all this stuff. Cash Patel, how does that sound familiar? He's the director of the FBI. Now, Lori, when Jeffrey Epstein's house got raided before he got put in prison and sentenced and all that, the Department of Justice raided his place, took everything out of his safe, took all of his documentation. So if there are files, if there is incriminating evidence, the Department of Justice has it. They thoroughly took everything from his place. Hell, they even took his private jet. Which, do you know who used that private jet during their campaign in 2024? Out of all the private jets that they could have taken, if they didn't want to use their old ass 747 that they have, do you know who used Jeffrey Epstein's plane for their
Trump.
hmm. Anyway, back to where I was at. Back to my story. There was another person called Pamela Joe Bondi who constantly got on shows fanning the flames about Jeffrey Epstein. Once we get into power, we're going to expose Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to expose MLK. We're going to expose JFK. We're going to expose all of these conspiracy theories that people have been talking about. They probably wanted to even prove that we ain't never been to the moon. But they fanned all these flames, and their followers out there believe that if we elect these people and put them into power, finally we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna get the answers that we wanted. So whether it was Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, hell, even Alina Habba, Trump's personal lawyer, who currently is the acting attorney general for the state of New Jersey. It's a fast track to go from parking lot attendant to representing the former president to being an acting attorney general of a state. I mean, no shade on parking lot lawyers, but that's not normally a track that parking lot lawyers go through to become an acting attorney general for a statewide office. It just doesn't happen. That'd be like me from going from doing this show to being a managing producer for NBC networks. I mean, there's probably some local stations I probably have to get with first, but if I go to Comcast or something like that, just by doing this show, somebody's gonna think, "Hey, who the hell did he sleep with?"
Damn!
Thank you. I didn't do that anyway. Not that I couldn't have, I couldn't get there like that. I'm packing. But anyway,
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
that's what she said. Anyway, um, I did not do any of that. That's Lori. Anyway, so that's kind of the crazy part is that, and even Donald Trump fanned the flames of Epstein. He talked about Epstein in a way and to get himself elected. All these things were projection. We're going, hey, the current administration is hiding this from you, hiding it from you, trying to give people another reason. Hey, you need to vote for us because when we go in there, we're going to attack the deep state. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to pull back the veil that they don't want you to see. You just wait. You let us get in there. And as recently as February, Lori, now that these same people are now in the highest parts of power, there is nobody in the Department of Justice higher than Pam Bondi. Well, there is. It's the president. It shouldn't be the president because the Department of Justice should have some light in their autonomy between them and the president. She has made it clear she is the president's attorney. And the role of the United States Attorney General has never been to be a president's personal attorney. And she has kind of gone against um, basically all years of tradition in doing that. We thought Bill Barr was bad when he was Trump's attorney general, and Pam Bondi has taken that and run amok even more with it. But anyways, so the point is that if the files exist, if there is a there, now that Cash Patel is the director of the FBI and Pam Bondi is the attorney general of the United States, there is no deep state that can keep them from producing these reports. The only thing that you would worry about with these reports, because it does involve victims, is making sure that whatever you put out redacts any victims' names or brings any harm to those that were victimized by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Outside of that, everything else is pretty much fair game. So between Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, they could get together, we'll go through those reports and find out what can be put out and what can't be put out. So there was always the expectation that whatever comes out is going to have some redacted things that may be able to identify victims, right? But that pretty much everything else would be released, right? Well, she even said as recently as February on Fox News, when they said, "Hey, we hear that you've got the Jeffrey Epstein list. Is it true that we're going to be able to see it?" And her response, he asked specifically about the list, not the entire case. We know you have the case. He asked if you had, "Hey, you got the list?" And she said, "It's on my desk for review." At the direction of the president, I'm going through this list, JFK files. Then she started talking about files, JFK files, MLK files, etc. The question that was asked was specifically about a list that has been alleged that Jeffrey Epstein kept of folks that frequented his island when he was in the process of grooming and molesting young girls. Okay. That's what the list is about. Who's on this list of people that, if their names were exposed, could face some serious legal issues, um, whether in the law or in the court of personal opinion? Who could be affected by this? So it's a lot of people, most likely. But, and she said, "Hey, oh man, it's a list." Alina Habba was out there saying, "Oh my God, you ain't gonna believe who's on this list." Just basically feeding more red meat to their followers, getting them to anticipate there's a list. Then this same attorney general, Lori, puts out a whole media thing having all these right wing influencers show up to the White House and they walk out with these binders that say Epstein Files, Volume 1, where they're basically trying to then give them a little bit more red meat. "Hey, these influencers got Jeffrey Epstein files. It's coming. It's coming. It's about to be revealed." And we knew it was a farce then a little bit because the things that she gave them were things that were already out in the public sphere. It didn't give them any more insight into what they were looking for. It was just a way of using these influencers as political props. And they didn't know that probably when they went there, but then they went in front of all the cameras out front of the White House. They knew where the reporters would be waiting, and they come out with these big old binders. I mean, who has to have a binder that says Epstein Files Volume 1 on them? You wanted the cameras to catch that. And Pam Bondi did her performative for the cameras. That's all it was, Lori. But it continued to feed the idea to the base that there was something there, and that now that we've got the right people in position, they're going to put it out there. Well, at some point over the last several weeks, there was a DOJ memo that came out basically shutting all of this down, saying, "You know what? The files have been reviewed. Now, all of a sudden, there is no list. Now, all of a sudden, everything that was in the files have been fully vetted, and there's nothing else to be able to share." Just like that. And immediately, right wingers lost their damn mind and said, "Wait, what? Nothing? After y'all been talking all this cash, you know what? Now there's nothing?" And that ain't go over well. And I think they're so used to their fans just eating anything that they say and believing it, no matter how crazy it sounds. Even for them, this was one bridge too far for them to even go. And they said, "Oh, hell to the no. Trump, what are you doing? Don't do this. You promised us this, Pam Bondi. You need to get rid of Pam Bondi." So all the calls for Pam Bondi's head started coming out. Dan Bongino was all upset. Even when him and Pam Bondi had a blow up, and he didn't even come to work for a couple of days because he's all mad. He's already been talking about how this job ain't what he thought it was. It's hard. It ain't like podcasting, Dan, is it? He has to show up to the FBI every day, works long hours, it's affecting his marriage. Like he wants to feel, sorry for him and everything because you're getting an FBI salary. Ain't gonna happen. Um, but it's a real job, Dan. And you see a lot of information gets put in front of you, confidential stuff. Um, that's a lot of pressure. But apparently, in my opinion, Lori, Bongino's upset because he knows his credibility said he may quit. Yeah. He's out there saying, yeah, because he was already on the verge of quitting anyway, because he didn't like the job. But he's like, everybody says the same thing, but when the president comes and asks you to do something, you know, you don't want to let him down. So I you know, agreed to do it. Okay. Well, you still want to make sure that number one, you qualified, number two, that you committed. As Nicki Minaj may say, both of those start with a C. And they don't. I'm just that's what you learn. I don't know if you've heard that new song that she got out with Lil Wayne, and there was a verse where she said something started with a letter that it does not start with because she just sometimes rhymes stuff that don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, phenomenal with an F.
But that's it. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. And I was listening to it, I was like, phenomenal with an F. I hope you just trying to make this rhyme. Because if not, somebody failed.
It really is a
Anyway,
reflection
I'm glad.
on the U.S. education system. If you're talking about phenomenal is spelled with
Well,
an
I'm gonna
F.
say I'm gonna say now is she from Queens, so you got any dig between your Brooklyn education and the Queens schools or something?
I don't have a dig.
Did
I'm
she go to
just saying. Huh?
did she go to LaGuardia maybe? Did she go to LaGuardia High School maybe?
I don't know what
LaGuardia.
high school she went in Queens. I think she went to August Martin because if you're talking about F with it with a F is with phenomenal, you need to stop.
Oh, that's messed up. Brooklyn and
It's
Queens
not.
always
It's
got that
not
high.
messed up. It's not messed up. And if you
Brook-
know August Martin High School, then you know.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Okay.
so hopefully none of our listeners went to August Martin.
And I'm sorry if
If
I
they did,
offended anyone.
if you went to August Martin, phenomenal, phenomenal does start with an F. The hell with what we say. Okay, did I clear that up? Anyway, back to the story. Um, doing the weave and weaving. But anyway, so uh basically they've changed their tune. And whatever is in this file is making some folks a little anxious because Trump didn't really even seem to give two dams about it when they were talking about all of that. But now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now Trump is brutal. I know is brutally attacking the whole thing.
There you go. You're a little frozen.
Are we losing internet signal, Lori?
I think so, because you're frozen and you're moving around. There you go.
Oh, am I frozen? Okay. I think I froze again.
You did.
But I can hear you.
Again, I think it's the
Yeah.
white van
I
that's
mean, I can.
circling the neighborhood.
Oh, I'm talking about this Epstein too much. It is funny when
Right.
we talk about certain subjects, we do get to freeze. Oh Lord. Anyway, so to make the long story short, okay, white van, I'm gonna move on in a second. Just give me like 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna move on to the next block. But right now, Trump is fighting back, trying to equate what's going on with the Epstein files to other scandals that he was involved in Trump one, whether it was the Russia Gate, where Bob Mueller was brought in to investigate Russia collusion, whether it was Hunter Biden's laptop. He's bringing all these different things that were more personal to him and lining it up with what's going on with the whole Epstein files. And it's like, why is he lining those things up together as if it's a same continuous line of stuff? Like he's now adopted that, and to say, well, if you believe it, you're buying into the hoax, the trap that the Democrats are laying out and stuff like that. And Lori, I'll let you chime in, but let me just tell you what I think is really happening. Trump knows what's in the files. He thought he was going to be able to simply run on it and then let it die without even having to bring it back up. But the interest in it is so great, people won't let it go. And now, because he's probably fearing that at some point, because they have in the past been one of the leakiest administrations in history, that some of this stuff is going to make it in front of a reporter and it's going to be leaked out. And in some of that leak, it's potentially going to have stuff that may not look good for him. And what he's trying to do, if we can loosely ever accuse Trump of having a strategy, he does have certain strategies. Most of his strategies are to get in front of something that's true and discredit it heavily before it happens. And I'll give you an example of it. But Tani said, I wonder if he feels or sees he was mentioned too much. Yes, I think so. Good point, Tani. I think he was. But I think he already knew that he was in it and he never intended for it to come out. It was just like, I'll give you another example. How long did Donald Trump go and keep going and going about his taxes were under audit and that's why he can't release them? First president in history ain't never released his taxes because he knew what it would show. He knew it would be something that it would either show that he's not as rich as he was, it would show that he hadn't been paying his fair share of taxes. There was going to be something in that he did not want the public to know about. So he kept saying 2 weeks or about certain things, not the taxes, but he would say other things. 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And 2 weeks never happened. I'll give you another example. He discredited the elections. If I lose, it will be because they cheated. And he kept saying that over and over and over. And Trump is the master of repetition. He says the same thing over and because the more times he says it, he feels like it'll make it true. So he'll take something that's true, try to get in front of it and discredit it so that when it finally does come out, he's already sowed the seeds of doubt. So now what is he trying to do? He's blaming everything with Epstein on Democrats. He done brought up damn James Comey, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Christopher Wray, Republicans out there. He one of y'all's. Christopher Wray is a Republican. He might not be MAGA, but he been a Republican all his life. So why y'all keep trying to trash Christopher Wray as if he's some uh, bastion of liberal ideology? That is a. I mean, you might as well tell me that you just saw Sasquatch and the Loch Ness monster, because Christopher Wray is in no way a liberal, progressive, or a Democrat at all. That don't even float. But they throw him in there because he did stuff that Trump didn't like. So now all of a sudden Trump again got in front of that so that when he lost the election, what happened? January the 6th. Because he spent months before that sowing the seeds of doubt. January 6th is the perfect example of taking something that was true, muddying it enough, turning it into something that people at least question. Something that should not be questionable, he makes it questionable. So he's doing all of this now, Lori, because before anything gets out there to the public sphere, he can say, hey, of course, I told y'all before it was going to come out, it was going to be. Now he's out there calling it bullshit. I told y'all it was bullshit. I told you. Ain't nothing in there you can believe. Because if you listen to him now, what is he saying? Well, if Pam Bondi can find anything credible, she should release it. Well, who is determining what's credible and what's not? And why are you saying that there are things in there that may not be credible when you don't know that there's things in there that are not credible? You're sowing the seed of doubt. You can't trust nobody because how do we know that they didn't go in there and start putting stuff um, in the files, stuff in files? Remember when they raided Mar-a-Lago because he had all those classified documents? Then Fox News had people on there talking about, or Alina Habba was on there talking about, Well, I don't even trust the government. How do I know that they didn't just start sitting there putting stuff in them files, in them folders down there in classified files just to try to get it? They always do that. That's always their play, is to discredit anybody. Lawyers do that sometimes too. When you're going after somebody in court, what do? You discredit the witnesses. If they're going to bring on an expert, you find stuff in that expert's shady past to show, hey, they're not credible. So it's not a huge thing to believe that he's just trying to get out in front of it, muddy the waters enough that by the time it comes out, you can't see as clearly as you should be able to see. It's obvious that's what he's doing.
But
Um,
I also think that he's getting, I guess with the recent report about he's being treated for his veins all of a sudden.
mhm.
That just rolled out. So we're trying to sit here and even to say that many people have said that his absent-mindedness is this way. So again, we just can't believe anything that he says. He just says foolishness.
You would think that people would have caught on to that by now, but apparently, depending on what you want to believe, you will gravitate to what appeals to you, regardless if it makes sense or not. That's the only thing that you can ever gather is that people will refuse. Because I always said with a lot of Trump supporters is they want to be lied to, and people say, "Well, Brian, nobody wants to hear a lie." No, some people want to hear a lie. You
It's
know,
easier.
take somebody that's 400 pounds. They will gravitate towards people to say, "Baby, you're not really that big." It's cult-like behavior, Tony says. It is cult-like behavior because they fall in line. Because once you believe that the dear leader can do no wrong, anything that they say has to be right. And if it goes against reason, facts, and things like that, that's where fake news is born. Fake news was a term used. Trump heard it and then rebranded it himself on the right. The whole idea of fake news was an attack on right wing blogs and stuff like that that came up. They hijacked it and then turned it into the fake news media being CNN, MSNBC, ABC News, more reputable, not always perfect, but more reputable sources of news, and turned it and backfired it on them. They're great at hijacking something and rebranding it. They do it all
Yes.
the
Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, we also think is very interesting is that these senators, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Josh Hawley, they're all asking, "Where's the files? We want to see it. We want to see it." And Trump keeps trying to downplay and say, "There's nothing in the file. We're not trying to do this one. It's crazy. It's bullshit. It's this. It's
Yeah,
all."
he's calling them stupid Republicans
Yes, stupid Republicans.
because Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Thomas Massey, handful of other Republicans on the Senate and House side are joining with Ro Khanna and some of the other Democrats on a bill that would require Pam Bondi to preserve the files, and for them to pass a bill that would at least start some investigations in a bipartisan way. We can't get these folks to agree on anything other than naming post offices as long as they ain't Civil War traitors. Um, they rarely agree on anything. You're getting bipartisan support on, hey, I don't know what game y'all playing, but y'all need to put this out there. And Trump has even behind the scenes been trying to call in to a lot of them and said, drop it. Now, it did work with Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk just had last week his Turning Points, where it's like going at Turning Points is a group for like young people and stuff like that. And they had a bunch of guests and folks like that, whether it was Laura Ingraham, Megyn Kelly, Steve Bannon, all those folks, and they were there. And this was the biggest thing out there. And even Laura Ingraham was like, "Hey, how many of y'all are satisfied with the Epstein case? Give an applause if you're satisfied." Everybody booed her down. And she said, "Okay, how many people are not satisfied?" And then the place went crazy. Um, There was somebody telling Steve Bannon, I forgot who was talking to him, that accused Trump of being part of the deep state now. So they are turning on him because they believe he is now part of the cover up. He can't keep saying Biden, 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 even though he loves, he has some fetish with Joe Biden. I don't know what the hell it is. But everything is bad as Biden. He was stupid Biden. He was low IQ Biden, and all of these things, and he lashes out and blames Joe Biden. Man, he's got one play. you know, that's why he's so stupid, is because he only has a one. It's like when I used to play somebody in basketball, and it was no secret that the guy was gonna go right because that was his strong hand. So as long as I played his right side strong, he couldn't switch and go left because it was the only play he had. And what did he end up having to do? He had to pass the ball. But I'm left-handed. I can go left and right. Yeah, my primary is left, but if you shut off my left, I'm gonna go by you with my right. But a lot of people don't have that second move. He never had a second move. But the problem is that people would let him get out of the one move that he had, not ask him any follow-up questions. And I did see the media start to ask him even today, you keep saying this is a hoax. What have you seen in the files that is leading you to believe it's a hoax? Or has Pam Bondi briefed you on what's in the files to lead you to believe that parts of it are a hoax? And if so, what parts? Now, the problem is you can ask him a very direct question, but he weaves through the answer. And somehow he didn't really answer the question, but he turned it back to James Comey, Christopher Wray, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. Hell, probably my mama got something to do with it too. She might, actually. Anyway, yeah, you look at like that could be true. Don't you be talking about my mama. Um, but anyway, um, and if you listen to mom stuff, sorry. But anyway, he's good with that one move, but then he doesn't have a counterpunch because normally that one move is good enough for him to get out of it and move on. But this time they are not letting him move on because so many people rose to fame in your administration by talking about this subject. And now you want everybody to sweep it up under the rug, and it ain't going to happen. So that's what's going on with that. To be continued. Hopefully, when we come back in 3 weeks, we'll see a little bit more movement with it. But I will go ahead and guarantee you that he's gearing up for another shoe to drop, and for him to be already ahead of it, trying to muddy the waters. It's almost as clear as my friend in Indiana says, it's clear as mud.
Well, that is true, but then also I think within the 3-week period, there's going to be a peace treaty in Ukraine. Um, the something
Day
with
one.
China and
Oh,
Russia's going to get some type of tariff or something
well, the whole Ukraine Russia thing was supposed to be solved before he
in
even
2 weeks.
before he was inaugurated. I could
Right,
get
but
it done
then
in
we
24
keep going to 2 weeks.
hours. I could get it done in 24 hours, and it won't even take that long. Well, MF, you've been in there almost 6 months. That's a lot longer than 24 hours, unless you also can't tell time neither. Um, he's made a lot of
Maybe that's
promises.
affecting the veins in his brain, I guess.
I will get costs down on day one. There won't be any more inflation. All these things, and he keeps even saying it now. There's no inflation. Gas is $1.98, and then he says, "Well, at least."
When gas is $1.98. Wow.
Well, he says in 4 states. Somebody should tell him that 4 states ain't even half of the country. Even if that was true, which I don't think it is, even if 4 states had $1.98 gas, how could you sit there and think that's a great win when there's 46 other states where that would not be true?
It, it's not. It's
I mean,
just
I mean,
crazy.
I mean, what kind of curve are you grading? Could you imagine having an F student go, "I got an A"? That's what he's doing. 4 out of 50 is something to brag about. Really?
Like again, I have to go get gas tomorrow.
Man, I wouldn't
It's
bring that
three
up ever.
something.
Oh, yes, 3 something. Yeah. Ain't no $1.98 gas. Hell, even when I go to South Carolina, it ain't $1.98. Now it's about 20 cents, 25 cents less than North Carolina, but it ain't no $1.98. Shit. I mean, shit, it ain't no way in the world. We
I
ain't
just
never
I
gonna see
just want to
dollar.
know those 4 states. Please
Look,
tell me,
look,
because
we ain't
I
never
need
gonna
we need to move there.
look. The only way we will ever see $1.98 gas again is if 70% of the country are driving electric vehicles. Not Teslas, but any of these EVs out here. If 70% of the country finally starts driving, and we know that that's never happened because there's at least 80 million Trump voters that are against driving anything that's an EV. So F-150 gas guzzlers have nothing to worry about because Billy gonna keep buying them trucks. That's just a fact. But anywho's, Lori, I don't know if you saw today where the Senate passed a $9 billion rescission bill, uh, cutting away things like foreign aid, um, public broadcasting. It is absolutely crazy what they're doing. Um, cutting, yet um, taking ICE's budget. I think we talked about that last week, from $3 billion to over $48 billion, so that they can have more detention, hire these rogue individuals wearing masks to put people in alligator Alcatraz and all these other places, to be cruel. They have money for cruelty, but they don't have money for USAID. They don't have money for it wasn't UNICEF. It was something like, I'm trying to think which one it was. But they're cutting all this money back. Public broadcasting is a real big thing, especially in rural areas. But PBS is also Big Bird. It's going to cause a lot of these places where education is being reached out to people in rural areas, where news is being reached out to people in these rural areas, not to be able to get their news.
As a contributor to PBS, which I do every year, I've always contributed to PBS. The hearing about the passing of all the cuts, especially to public education and PBS and everything, is so it just makes me so angry that you're cutting food and everything, dismantling the Department of Education, preventing people from going on and getting on their education. It's just so disgusting, and these people are just power hungry, and I don't understand. I mean, I would hope that this would be a wake-up call, but I don't think it is. I think that these people are gonna still keep continuing to be in power, even though it should be a wake-up call to be like, "You need to get out of Congress, and you need to get out of the House of Representatives." But, I just think it's just a shame, but they want America first.
Well,
There you go.
I agree with everything that you said. So does Tani. She said you're spot on. Um, it's sad because the one thing, well, a couple of things. They know that what they have right now may not happen again in a generation. They got control of the Supreme Court. They have control of the White House. They have control of the legislative bodies. Even with the narrowest of majorities, it's most likely enough to get across all of their agenda. In some ways, they're being smart about it. All of their visions of grandeur can't happen if they don't get it done this year and the first half of next year, because they know damn well that there's a great chance, because statistics show, trends show the party out of power typically does better in mid-year elections. Well, they have such a slim majority in the House, and the House flips every 2 years. The Senate has 100 seats, but only a third of those flip every year. Okay. So every senator is not up in every election, only a third. And they serve 6 year terms where the House only serves 2 year terms, which is why they say, hey, you know what? We if we end up with a net 4 seats in the Democrats' favor, Hakeem Jeffries is the Speaker of the House. Well, what does that do? Now you have divided Congress. Even if the Senate stays in Republican control, nothing gets passed unless you have people from the other party to side with the party in power. And again, unless we name in post offices not named after Civil War traitors, that ain't going to happen that much. So, but what that means is that Donald Trump can't depend on the legislative body to then do anything. He'll have to continue to do things via executive order, and he knows just as much as anybody else that executive orders die with the president that's in power. Once that person is out, the next president can come in, rescind all the executive orders, which they normally do, because most of them are crazy as hell.
Yes, that is true. But I'm hoping that this will start. And I mean, again, I'm being hopeful, especially with, I know here in the state of North Carolina, our Attorney General, Jeff Jackson, has joined several states, especially in talking about the freeze on funding, which is part of the passing of the big, beautiful, idiotic bill,
Yeah,
um, just for education, for helping, especially with the weather, you know, with all of these storms that are coming and this and everything else, and then trying to sit there and to claw back the money that was already promised prior. So I'm hoping that this is a, and again, for my wish, that I hope that this is a starting the tide of the turning of the tide, because then it just seems like things maybe have to be done more locally, and whether with not through our federal government, but basically through our states and our local governments of starting to sit there and to claw it back.
I've lost that optimism. I think, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've just seen time after time Democrats waste their time trying to find what they called. And again, I got a better chance of finding Bigfoot, the Loch Ness monster, and the Tooth Fairy before I can find what they consider a sensible republic. They don't fucking exist anymore. They don't. The ones that did left the party already. They're gone. Um, and they're not liberal or progressive enough to become a Democrat. I'll take David Jolly down in Florida. He definitely did, and he's running as a Democrat for Senate, I think, or governor. One of them, maybe governor. Maybe he's running against DeSantis. No, DeSantis term limited, but I think he's running for governor as a Democrat. And David Jolly had been a Republican all his life. There are some of those on the fringe that can line up more with Democrats or just become an independent that would caucus with Democrats. But for a lot of them, the old Reagan Republicans, t- uh, the ones that were about cutting taxes, strong military, strong borders, a lot of those things, they don't exist anymore. Trump has taken the Republican Party and made it in his image. He has deballed the folks there that always talked about masculinity and all those kind of things, and he's basically taken away all of what they said they believed in and had them vote against things. He's even had them vote against what they always claimed were red lines for them. No Republican would have ever voted to increase the damn debt limit by $4 trillion.
No, none of them.
These are the same ones that shut the government down for way less.
Yes.
We're gonna have a government shutdown. We're gonna have, and it's gonna be the Democrats' fault because da 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 da. It wasn't over 4 trillion, but now y'all vote for something that increases the debt by 4 trillion. Do you know that that would mean that between two Trump terms, he's inflated the debt by over $12 trillion? And these were the people talking about fiscal conservatism, offsetting things. If you're going to spend on this, then we have to find cuts here. Cut, 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 cut was always their thing. Now they're doing this rescission bill masquerading as, see, we told y'all we were fiscal conservatives. We just cut $9 billion. Yeah, because you increase spending so much that now you're having to find things like USAID that provides aid testing, uh, healthcare, screenings, food assistance. But in doing that, USAID, you just screwed over the farmer in South Dakota and Iowa that takes a lot of their farming stuff. I mean, their farming goods, wheat, rice, things that they have a surplus of, and USAID used to buy a lot of those things and take it overseas and feed people. That was part of how a lot of those farmers made their money. Those mom and pop farmers, not these big farming companies and stuff like that, but the mom and pop farmer that depends on their stuff being sold on a global market. You're screwing them. But guess what, Lori? They still gonna vote for him or the next Republican because hopefully he really believes he really understands he can't run again. But whether it's him or another Republican, they still gonna vote against their own self-interest because they are being distracted with culture wars. Oh, the Democrats are the party of drag queens, uh, girls and boys sports. Um, it's been said, hey, there's more people on the Epstein list than there are trans girls in sports. But they will follow those culture wars and get their eye off of it. That's what in football, there's a play called misdirection. And all it is making the defensive player think they're seeing one thing and then you go the other way and do something else. I got everybody in motion. So they're thinking that the play is going to the left. But when I hand the ball off to the running back because he knows that they're shifting their defense, if I then give it to him and he cuts back to the right, he's going to have a lot more yards in front of him to gain. It's called misdirection. Republicans are good at that. We're going to give you crumbs so that you focus on those crumbs while we're taking the real big pieces of bread that really matter. Perfect example. Trump. We're going to have no taxes on tips, Medicare, and Social Security. Did they put that in the bill? They did. They actually did. Guess what, though? It's
Go ahead.
temporary.
It
It's
is
temporary.
temporary. Yes, it is. And I actually sat through a webinar that was actually talking about things that were affecting in the big beautiful bill, and they were talking about taxes, tips, employer. Like it was a whole an
Now,
ADP
but
seminar.
they also didn't explain that number one, you have to make a certain amount for that
Yes.
to be true.
Yes.
And it would have to be better than your standard itemized deduction, which it probably won't be.
Right. Right.
You'll probably come out better with your standardized deduction than worrying about claiming the taxes off the tips. And it doesn't come off immediately. You claim it at the end of the year. You
yes.
still pay it throughout the year.
Yes, and then also because they are temporary, that they're only through 2028, and then it can come back, and then it goes back to, and especially there's other rules and things that they were talking about during this ADP seminar that I sat through today. It was
Lori,
really interesting.
so Lori, look at how heinous this is. It expires when there's a possibility that Democrats will take power.
Yep.
So if people have been getting the ability to claim their taxes and stuff, and then all of a sudden it goes away, and now Democrats are in power, then guess who gets hit with the blame that they no longer have the ability to uh, claim taxes off their tips, Social Security, and Medicare. See, they know what they're doing. Same reason as a lot of these cuts that they put in this bill. I ain't calling it beautiful. In this
It's
bill,
not.
don't take effect until after the midterms because they know that it is political suicide to have these cuts come up before people go into the ballot box. And they're hoping that people will be so distracted with Joanna Man running around on the basketball court, dunking on real girls, as they call it, not my word. Um, you know, trans woman is woman, but they call that Joanna Man running around dunking on real girls. And they get you more worried about that than when you go into that ballot box, you're angry at Democrats because you feel like they're supporting that. They're supporting people taking away your black jobs, your white jobs, whatever. All these things that aren't even true. They get you focused on that. That's the misdirection. So then all you see is what they want you to look at. They're giving you the crumbs on the floor, the tip, the no tax on this, no tax on that. Those are the crumbs on the floor, but they taking the big pieces of bread off the table. And people will keep voting for the fucking crumbs on the floor.
Absolutely.
Every time they will vote for the crumbs on the floor and not the bread on the damn table. Republicans have no more disdain than for their own constituents. They treat them like absolute tools, marks, and idiots. Unfortunately, and I say this with no disrespect, they are more right than wrong. They can get their folks riled up to run on some culture war issue and vote against their own self-interest than looking up and going, wait a minute, you got me looking at over here while you got your hand in my back pocket. I'm more upset by something over here and not the fact that you fiddling around in my back pocket taking my damn wallet. They're the ultimate pickpockets. Because what does a pickpocket do? They wait till you're distracted. You get bumped. You worry more about the bump than the fact that you just lost your wallet, bro. You get more mad at the person that bumped you than the one that reached in your back pocket. That's how they get you. It's culture. It is a cult. It's culture wars too. They get us fighting against each other over shit that don't even matter. Hey Virgil, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Sorry, I'm kind of going on a rant there. So that's what we got going on with that. Lori, I'm making a hard pivot because I got to bring this up before we end the show. But we will cover these things in the next 3 weeks while we're out. Lori, I'm a big basketball fan. Nobody is ever going to convince me. She said, "Keep going, Tony." Keep going. I'm not doing what Burn. Well, yeah, we can call it what burns me. I will, Tony. I will. I know that's right. Well, I'm about to cook somebody else. The Bleacher Report, Lori, came out with their most updated list of top 100 greatest basketball players of all time. Now, look, I have no interest in that list as far as the ones close to 100. The top 10, the Mount Rushmore of players, is pretty set in stone to me. But there was a name omitted from the top 10. Now I put it in the show notes, but I'm gonna tell you who their top 10 is, and now nobody disputes Michael Jordan is number one. Um, Maybe younger kids that never saw Mike play, it might be hard for them, but the hell with them. It's MJ. MJ is almost like shouldn't he be on the list? He should be like the Illuminati board where he's just kind of above everything else, and then it's them. But I think there's somebody else that should be up there with him that's not on this list. So Michael Jordan was number one. Number two was LeBron James. I'm already mad. LeBron James is not the number two greatest player of all time. He has
Mm-mm.
scored. He has scored the most points. Finally, he because of his longevity in the league, and he started so young, but he scored the most points. Number 3 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 4 is Magic Johnson.
Mhm.
Number 5 is Bill Russell.
You could put Bill Russell up more, but okay.
I don't know how you don't have how you got Bill Russell somewhere and Wilt Chamberlain ain't nowhere around. You shitting on Wilt. Anyway, number
Wilt
6.
should have been
Well,
maybe 8.
okay, well, we'll get to 8 and see if he's there. Number 6 is Shaq.
Why?
Number 7 is the big fundamental, otherwise known as Tim Duncan. Number 8 is Larry Bird.
No, absolutely not. What about Stephon Marbury? Like, come on.
Okay, check it out. Now, my boy, number 9, Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt distilled is number 9. So before Wilt, you got Kareem, Magic, Larry, LeBron. I forgot
LeBron
who.
should not even be in that list. Not the top 10.
Okay, listen. Number 10, and this is my hometown dude. I love him to death. OJ Simpson was a hell of a player. That's football virtual. What's up in this list? I know, Tony. Check this out. Number 10, my homeboy, Davidson Wildcat, son of a Charlotte Hornet. Number 10, no other than Steph Curry.
Okay.
After
Okay.
Steph, number 11, it almost puts tears in my eyes how fucking mad I'm at this. Number 11, after Wilt, Larry, LeBron, Shaq, Russell, Steph, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Kobe could have went up a little further.
Kobe
Why
is
is he
number
number 11?
11
11? I don't
behind
get it.
behind Steph, Tim Duncan, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Shaq, um,
Why is Shaq
Magic,
on there?
Kareem, and LeBron. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Shaq is in the top 10. Shaq was one of the most dominating big men ever. Yes, Wilt was too, but Wilt was very raw, but he was just
Yes.
big. Bill was big. I believe that they are at least in the top 20 somewhere.
Okay, 20.
Magic
I'll give you
and
top
LeBron
20.
are
I will give you top 20. Top 20.
Magic, Magic and yeah, Magic and LeBron are the same dude. If I said out of all the players that were being coordinated as the next Jordan, whether it was J.R. Ryder, whether it was a couple of other players out there during their time, when people thought they would probably take the mantle from Mike, there is only one player that is ever been compared closer to Michael Jordan than anybody else, and you put him as number 11. People look at Michael Jordan and they tell you the thing that separated Mike from every other player wasn't just the way that he scored, but that he was a stone cold killer, that he wanted to eviscerate you on the court. He talked trash, he backed it up, and he was out there to make sure that you had a very bad day. Um, he took anything that you said as a slight and used it to fuel him. He was so competitive that it would bleed into other things in his life where he could just be simply playing a game of solitaire with you and want to put money on it. He was ultra competitive in everything. He took practice as needing to be competitive. When they ran suicide drills, they always talked about the first player that would finish the drills would be Mike in drills. Like he's insane. And the only player that has ever been compared to having that type of insanity is Kobe.
Kobe.
It ain't even close. Now, the crazy part is once the list came out, here's the crazy thing. The NBA players, past, present, current, no question, Mike, Kobe. All of them. Even though LeBron is still playing. Mike, Kobe. All the players get it. But these people from Bleacher Report, to put Kobe at 11, man, you desecrating him, man. He ain't here to defend himself, so I'm going to defend my brother. You know, when Kobe first came to the league, you know, the first shot he took was a damn air ball. What about Joe DiMaggio? Joe DiMaggio played baseball, bro. Not the top athletes, top basket NBA players, Virgil. You're missing the assignment here. Not Joe DiMaggio. That's a totally different sport. But we're just talking about the NBA players. Um, there's no way in the world that Kobe Bryant deserves that. Bleacher Report should be ashamed of themselves. While I have the utmost respect for Kareem, Bill Russell, Walton, Shaq, even Steph Curry, Larry Bird, all of them. Larry Bird was a great player. He wasn't a goat.
Mhm.
He was
No, he
he
was
was
not.
one of the hard he was one of the hardest white boys to defend.
Yep.
By far.
Yep.
He did not change the game the way Kobe did. Kobe changed the game. Kobe was a player that when you stepped on the court, you had no strategy for defending him. It was the same way people looked at Mike. They were like, because a lot of times you look at the film and you try to find something to have as a strategy. What part of his game can I take away from him to lessen his impact on the game? What weaknesses can I sit there and dig into that's going to hurt him? When people were asked that about Michael, they said he ain't got no weaknesses. When people say that about Kobe, it's the same thing. They called him the Black Mamba for a reason. He was a damn killer. LeBron is a great player. Does LeBron have a killer instinct? No, he does not. LeBron will give up the ball when he needs sometimes to be the one to take the shot. When the game was on the line, whether it was Kobe or Mike, there was never a question of who was going to have the ball at the end of the game, win, lose, or draw. Never. The one time Michael did it, he passed it off to Steve Kerr, and he did hit a shot, and they won the championship. And that was very rare for Mike to do that. Or was it John Paxson? It was either John Paxson or Steve Kerr. But the point is that you knew when the game was on the line who was going to have the ball in their hand, who was going to touch the ball last, win, lose, or draw. It was going to be Mike in Mike's hand. It was going to be in Kobe's hand. No other question. If it was Larry Bird, it could be Larry, it could be Kevin McHale, it could be Robert Parrish. I know. It could be any of those. But when it came to Kobe and Mike, no question. And the thing was, NBA, Virgil, National Basketball Association, basketball, the orange thing. When the game was on the line, you knew who was going to have the ball, Lori. And guess what? It didn't matter. You still couldn't stop him. They were going to do it anyway. Despite what you did the game, put two people on him. You box him out. You do all these things. It didn't matter. Because those type of guys were not regulated on. Oh, I cut out. They were in their own rare air. The Rushmore of the NBA is always going to be Michael and Kobe 1 and 1A, and then you can fight over the rest of the list. That's what I got for y'all this week. Bleacher Report, go to hell. Y'all effed up that list royally, and they're getting a lot of backlash from it, as they should. Well, we're going to sign off for a 3-week layover. We will be back on August the 14th. But remember, Head to Head Sports starts August 11th. We will start reviewing 2 conferences or sorry, 2 divisions. It's only 2 conferences. 2 divisions per week leading up to that Thursday night NFL opener with the Eagles and somebody. I can't remember who they playing. But it's going to be a great game. We're going to lead up to that. We're going to talk about training camp. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame game that's going to be coming up. We're going to talk about rookie contracts. We're going to talk about up-and-coming players and things like that. So get ready. We're ready to do this. Thank y'all so much. Season 6 Head-to-Head Sports. Season 6 Head-to-Head with Brian Parker coming in August. Thank y'all for giving us 5 years of doing this. I can't believe it's been that long, Lori. 5 years. Wow. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all again in a couple of weeks. We out. Peace. Thanks.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking